Welcome back to another exciting episode of Realities May Vary, the podcast about nothing by two guys who talk about whatever they want. Why put a label on it? That's what all the other kids are doing. They're trying to be niche broadcasters. We are broad broadcasters, and by we, I mean that's Cody Gough. I, of course, am Brian Noonan. And hello. You look all red wrapped like you're in a Christmas box.
Dude, I'm digging your A, Christmas tree on the side, B, Christmas background.
We got a lot. The house looks like the North Pole has exploded. We have not. We started the decorating on Saturday because I did what I always do, and you're going to start doing this as a homeowner. Mm-hmm. Have you done your outside yet? Have you decorated your outside yet?
We're going to do that this weekend.
Very nice. I did it last weekend because I was watching all the weather monkeys yell about the fact that it was going to snow and it was going to rain, it was going to get cold, and blah, 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 blah. And so I looked at the calendar and I said Saturday was the day. If I don't get it all done on Saturday, I'm not doing it because God forbid I have to go outside in the bitter cold, which I've done in the past, in the rain and snow, which I've done in the past. So Saturday, I did the outside. We have some new additions. The outside looks, I got to tell you, it looks tight.
Yeah,
as the kids like to say, it looks tight.
Nice.
It's a mix of secular and religious.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a nice nativity out there, very simple nativity, more of a nativity silhouette with a nice light on it. And then we've got some snowmen. And we got some Santas out there and a lot of bright lights over, what did I figure? Over 2,500 twinkling Christmas lights now, just on the outside.
Is Santa secular or not? Because isn't anything associated with Christmas automatically considered by our culture to be religious?
The snowmen are secular for sure. Now, if you go with Saint Nick, if you call him Saint Nick or Père Noël, then perhaps you would put him in the religious category. But then I also did, I don't know. I'm going to leave. Here's what I'm doing. Once Santa was co-opted by Coca-Cola, he became a secular figure back in the day. So Santa is a secular figure. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Karen. Hello, Linda. Hello, Judy. Everybody is jumping in. We are happy to have you. I'm going to say Santa is secular.
Okay.
Obviously, the nativity scene is not. The snowmen are secular, but it's a nice blend. And we added some. I used to be against the LED lights, quite frankly. I added some LED lights this year. I'm going all LED. I'm trashing every other kind of light.
Outdoor or indoor or what?
Outdoor. My outdoor. I added some LEDs on a couple bushes this year and on the deck out back. Because I also decorate out back.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna do the LED. I'm gonna cast an LED light net on a bush.
It sounds good.
This weekend. So we're gonna do our first bush, and then if that goes well, we have at least 3 or 4 other bushes that I'm considering really just bushing it up.
Go Griswold, man. You've been with me long enough. Exterior illumination is key to Christmas.
Yeah,
how else are you going to win some neighborhood beautification award if you don't light your house up like a lunatic?
We need to do that. We've been slow to this was not our most proudly, we know how to be suburban year.
Okay.
My scheduling was a little off because unlike you planned it, you looked at weather, you figured things out, right? I did not do those things. In fact,
you also have a busy social schedule. You're always somewhere. You are, you're off doing God knows what with God knows who. So I get it.
Well, you recently.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because that was a holiday celebration.
Here's how my weekend went briefly. Because I don't have much to say about my decorations that are up, other than my wife did a beautiful job. Actually, we have a lot to talk about with trees.
We got a lot of decorating talk, but go on with your other stuff.
Yeah, we need some tree talk. Is going to be. I've been looking forward to tree talk with you for days now.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Seriously. So
all right.
So the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion came out. I think we've talked about this.
I do remember you say you were planning for this.
Yes, I took Friday and yesterday off work, Friday and Monday.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I wanted 4 days to play it.
But you also have a child.
I do, but Friday and Monday the nanny was here.
Okay.
Who is normally here to watch him while my wife and I work. And, my wife is also around and knew that this event was coming. Didn't matter. Because Friday is when I realized today is the last day of trash collection. Like today, Tuesday, is the last day of free leaf bag collection. City of Lombard, fun fact, 6 weeks of free leaf bag collection.
Really?
Yeah. Quite generous, I've been told. Some people were discussing Glen Ellen, and they were like, does Glen Ellen do like 1 day? Who knows? I don't know the truth of that. Villa Park, I know, also extended theirs. I think it's next week. They
really?
Theirs. Yeah. So some of the suburbs are pretty good about the leaf collection, which makes sense. Because
all right, can I say this? I hate that. I don't mind the villages picking up the leaves. The town, the cities, the townships, the villages, what have you. But what I mind is like I live near Oak Park, Illinois, a very hoity-toity,
very
little suburb just west of Chicago, where they allow people to push their leaves into the street.
What?
Yes. So, and they have no rules and no streetlights. I'm trying to read a
you put November in the lower third. You've got 11:26 and 11:30.
Oh, do I still have a caption up?
You have a caption up here, Brian, and WTMJ.
That was last. I didn't check it from last week's. No, those were the right dates. I'm done. I'm not done there, but I don't have the 26th and the 30th scheduled for December. Sorry about that. Okay, that's where the confusion came in. I'm like, what's happening here? All right, so here's the deal. They don't have any streetlights, so the people can just push all their leaves out into the street, and the streets are very narrow. So people are not just doing leaves, though. They're doing leaves and tree branches and shrubbery and old pumpkins and everything. So I will make a turn from one street onto another and, pardon me, almost drive into a giant pile of leaves and brush because they just can leave them on the street. So the village comes and picks them up.
They just sit there, like the leaf. They don't bag them or anything. The village just like brings some giant leaf tractor down the street, and that's how that works.
Sorry, I was so mad I was choking to death.
Oh
yes, that's exactly how it works. They come down with a big like vacuum truck, like a street sweeper vacuum truck, and they suck it all in. However, there's no way to know that this is out there. And people don't just they put them out like almost a car's width into the street. So it's ridiculous. I was tempted almost to wreck my car to see what kind of money I could get from the village because they allow things to be parked in this, it's not like a car where you turn the corner and you can see a car. You turn a corner and there's all of a sudden a giant long pile of leaves, but it's only about 3 feet high. It's like somebody laid down mini bikes in the street, perhaps mopeds. I don't know why I would bring up mopeds, but what if those were just laying in the street?
Now, Marta says most places nowadays vacuum up the leaves. Is that accurate?
Well, that's what Oak Park does. In our, I lived in Berwyn. We had to put them in bags. When I lived in Frankfurt, we had to put them in bags. Here in the city of Chicago, you got to put them in bags. So I just gave 3 examples of places that don't vacuum up the leaves.
I don't know about anywhere else. All I know is for me, leaf collecting and bagging is exercise.
Okay.
And for me, it's the most rewarding type of exercise because I'm getting something done and I'm getting exercise. I got the blower and then I'm raking things up and I'm scooping it, bringing out the bag, hauling the bag back and forth. I get my 10,000 steps in every time.
Right.
I'm not, and I see next door on either side of my neighbors, they got a crew of like 20 people show up and finish the whole thing in an hour. And it looks like it's professionally done. And it's like, boom.
Because it was professionally done.
Because it was. Meanwhile, I'm over here spending 10 hours doing it, and that's fine. I save myself a few $100. And
I like your kind of backhanded passive aggressive flex that you have a giant yard with a lot of trees. Like you're a huge property owner. Oh, it takes me 10 hours on my land to clean up all the leaves. Well, you do have a lot of trees on your property.
Well, and the neighbors have a lot of trees.
Yes, and the neighbors' leaves always blow into your yard.
No, they fall into my yard because they're giant-ass trees. And they're 6 stories tall, and they happen to also be over my property. Trees don't obey property lines. I don't know.
Trees are very disrespectful when it comes to that. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not happy about that.
Right. So
the trees.
A lot of the neighbors' leaves are falling. Some of my leaves are falling into their yard. It's like, sorry, that's your problem. You know, what are you gonna do?
Now, do you ever go to your neighbors and say, listen, man, why don't you peel off 3 or 4 of your professional crew and come have them get your share of the leaves over here?
Yesterday, I did consider, because they were doing it yesterday, and I considered walking over and being like, all right, which one of you runs this operation? How much do I got to pay to just walk next door and finish mine too?
You know what? They probably would have done it for like $30-$40.
No way.
Depending on how much you had left.
No way.
Last year I had there was a guy doing landscape work across the street, and I didn't have any of my stuff around. I was like, hey, can I hire you to just trim up that giant bush? And he was like, yeah, $20. I go, you got it, $20. There you go. And I went back inside and he trimmed the bush. And it was a big bush, a giant bush.
Yeah.
Which is now festooned with LED lights. So, all right. So you finally got all your leaves done, which you have to do before you do the Christmas decoration. You got to have all the leaves up. Some people will say to you, Cody, you know, those leaves would make good mulch for your grass next year. And to those people, I say, you are a lazy slob.
Okay. What is the deal with that? That's what my wife kept saying. She's like, just leave the leaves. They'll all just like die and they'll be good mulch. And it's good for the trees and it's good for the lawn and it's good for the soil and blah, blah, blah. This is Mother Nature.
It kills the grass.
This one, I was just like, there's got to be a reason. My whole life growing up, everyone got rid of their leaves.
A blanket of wet leaves will kill your grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Now I know.
So there you go. There you go. You don't need that.
I don't want that.
Crazy talk.
No,
you want dead grass? You got a lot of grass. What if it was all dead? Then you got to pay more landscapers to come and put down all sorts of crazy chemicals.
But to your point, I could have put up Christmas decorations anytime because I did the front yard like a week and a half ago.
Oh,
that was done forever. Like that. Okay. And it looks perfect. I did that. I mowed afterwards just to get rid of the extra grass and, cut up the tiny leaves that were left behind. The front has been perfect for weeks.
All right.
But the back, So, all right, Friday. Picture this. I've got the day off to play a video game.
You take time off of work to play a video. Pardon me. I'm opening a beer to enjoy your story.
Yeah. So I take the day off, right? So I wake up I'm the first one up. I wake up with my kid, and that never happens. My wife is always the morning person. And I was like, you know what? I want to be dad of the year, husband of the year. I'm just going to watch him. I'm just going to feed him. I'm going to hang out with him, let my wife sleep in. I can play this video game in an hour. It'll be great. Cool. So we hang out a little bit in the morning. She gets up, it's all wonderful. I'm dad of the year. Great. Cool. I play for like the 3 hours, let's say. Good chunk. I'm like, I should take a break and work on my lawn. So I spent pretty much the entire afternoon doing that, doing lawn stuff. Well, this game is so popular. It is so wildly popular and has unprecedented users. No one has ever played this game more. There are hundreds of there are actually millions of people playing this game, maybe hundreds of thousands.
Why?
But
what makes it what's so great about it?
The story, the gameplay, the community, the interaction with other players, the atmosphere, all of it, the music, everything. It's just the best game ever made. And
all right.
So at this point later in the day, I'm like doing all this yard work, doing some family stuff. And then I'm like, I better log on. Well, I log in and you have to go into a queue to wait to log in because the servers are full. And the queue is 6,000 some people ahead of me in line.
So you got to wait. This is worse than Disneyland at this point.
So every 30 seconds or so, it refreshes and it says how many players are in queue ahead of you. Every 10 minutes or so, it would knock off a couple hundred people.
Oh, my God.
Because no one's logging out of the game. So Friday night is here, and I'm just like, well, I'm not playing this today, am I?
You got to stay up all night.
You would
Hopefully
have
people from around the globe will fall asleep.
There's European servers, there's Japanese servers, and there's North American servers. So I'm on a North American server. So at best, I'm 2 hours off from California.
Right.
The plan for me is wake up early and play before California wakes up.
Okay.
Well, I didn't do that Saturday. I don't know what I did Saturday. I don't remember. And then I saw you. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, basically, I didn't play. It was another like maybe hour or so. No, I didn't play Sunday. Monday rolls around. Same kind of thing. Logged on for a couple hours in the morning, got 2-3 hours of playtime in, and then did yard work the rest of the day. And then after work, the login queue was like 8,000 people. And I was like, okay. So yeah, took 2 full days off, got about 4.5, 5 hours of playtime in. That's fine. But my yard is done and it looks phenomenal. And my wife saw the lawn bag picker-uppers this morning. And
long bag picker-uppers?
Yeah. He didn't look happy with our house.
Because you had a lot of bags to pick her up?
I had 25 to 30 bags.
Hey, man. Once again, big flex.
Yeah.
You should have gone out there with given him one of your many Bourbon County stouts.
Not drinking that today. Actually, I just cracked open brand new from Revolution Brewing Deepwood Series Vanilla Death.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Oh my goodness, that sounds delicious.
You know, it's good because Revolution's always good. Our friends at Revolution Brewing. But I'm not getting a lot of vanilla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one I wouldn't recommend. Now, later in the podcast, when I decide that I want to just go totally off the rails, I also have a straight jacket with me.
Oh, that's the barley wine.
Yeah, the barley wine. Another new release. So
well, you are ready to get turned.
Well, today, more Deep Woods went on sale, which I bought another like $100. I have a spending problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to start reselling some of these beers. I'm drowning in beer. I don't drink that much. I only have it like
that's the problem. You're like a weird collector. Well, I have been having to have one a day because Debbie and Molly came downstairs. When was it? Oh, I guess right before December. So last Tuesday night with this giant box, this advent calendar, a beer advent calendar that they got at Costco, and it is all German beer. Yeah, all the Nazi beers. I must drink everything from. Yeah, it's very good. It's it's made with the tears of people.
Wow.
No, that's not true.
How many of those German beers have you had tonight?
I only have one a day, but they're pints. They are the problem is I don't speak or read German, and all these cans are in German. But I am on day 7, and I have not had a bad one yet. There's a lot of lagers and a lot of Helles. And the other day I had a Schwarzbach, which was a black Bach, which was delicious. Tonight I am drinking Kurpfalzbrau. Nice. Yeah, you like the can of Kurpfalzbrau? It is a Helles lager.
I do. That's some shouted Freude.
Yeah, it's traditionally brewed in the heart of Germany. That's what it says anyway. So every day I have this. Every day I have this giant beer advent calendar sitting down in the dining room, and I pull out. I find the day, pop it out, and they're very hard to get out because they're full pint cans, and the front, But anyway, I get it out. I put it in the refrigerator the night before so that the next day I can have my one. So I have this one. This is tonight's number 7, and I've got number 8 in the refrigerator.
I know how to get it out. Use a bulb planter.
A bulb planter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One of the. I'm afraid I'd puncture the can.
Don't push that hard. Just,
The ABV on these is not very high. That's the nice thing. They're all about. This one is 5.3. So it's low. They're all low alcohol.
And same. I'm drinking a 13.6.
Yeah, that's about right. They're about the same. So I do like this. The more German beers I'm drinking, I'm thinking I got to scrap these. I got to scrap my travel list and put Oktoberfest near the top. Get me over to Munich. Start drinking some German beers, eating some Knackwurst, wearing some Lederhosen. Get me a girl in a Drindel.
Sprechstimme. That's what I always say.
Is that what you say? Do you speak German?
No, but my wife just signed up for German lessons.
Why?
I don't know. It came to her in a Shavasana during yoga.
What is a Shavasana? Like a dream? A fever dream?
No, Shavasana is
a
like
sweat lodge?
It's a nap. It's the nap time of yoga.
I don't know anything about yoga.
One of the yoga moves.
I dig the pants.
No, dude, they say get into Shavasana and you literally lay there and you just like lay down. It's nap time.
Well, I did that after school today. I Shavasana. I actually Shavasana during math. So yeah.
It's literally a nap. I used to call it Shoma Shabbos because I couldn't remember it because that's what John Goodman's character in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I don't work on Shoma Shabbos. So I'll be like, hey, Casey, I'm going to take a Shoma Shabbos. She's like, okay. She knows that means nap.
Yeah. Marta says the German beer is supposed to be room temperature. Well, it's hot in the house, so I don't drink it immediately out of the refrigerator. Like this one's been sitting out for about 10 minutes before I started drinking it. So I'm good to go. Listen, I'll drink it cold. I'll drink it warm. Drink it out of a, Mercedes-Benz exhaust pipe.
Wow.
I was trying to go. Yeah, I was trying to go German. I could have gone Volkswagen. Didn't.
Wow.
Yeah. But so all right. So you're gonna decorate next week. You're gonna decorate in the outside next weekend. Yeah. See, we're coming back. We're coming back to the decor.
Because we got to get to the trees.
Well, we got to get to the trees. I also have to. Somebody posted. We're in this neighborhood group. I forget what they're called. It's not a Facebook group. It's Nextdoor. Are you on a Nextdoor app in your town?
Yeah, I listed Metroid Dread for $35 and nobody picked it up.
What is that?
It's like a brand new Nintendo game. You can't get it for less than 40 used. So I'm like, I'll get it to you for 35. Just walk over to my place, whatever. Come over in the neighborhood. It retails for 60. You're saving like half, basically. It's a deal. It came out like a month. Well, it came out. I think everybody bought it new.
So, sure they did.
This is a hot game. Whatever.
All right. Well, so on Nextdoor today, somebody a block away from us, straight down our street, but a block, said somebody stole their Christmas decorations.
What?
Yeah. Said my Santa Claus got stolen, extension cord and all. And I'm like, oh, man. Now, I've been outdoor decorating for nigh on 30 years, and I've never had anything, I'm knocking on wood, vandalized or stolen. But I don't like that. I don't like somebody who would, if you would steal somebody's Christmas decorations, you are a piece of garbage.
You're Grinch.
I won't even romanticize it by calling somebody a Grinch.
Wow.
I'm calling you a piece of garbage. And I hope I would catch you on my lawn trying to take one of my things. Oh, it'd be a Christmas miracle if you lived. That's right.
Be a Christmas whooping.
Oh, there would be a Christmas. There'd be it'd be some sort of nocturnal emission. And that emission would be your blood and brain matter. Let it be said, so it shall be.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a feel good right there. That's a feel good story. We are trying to get I will say, since you're eager to talk trees, the trees are up. I would say we're about 40% done in the house. We have to have the house done before Saturday because that's when Walter is coming back for a visit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and he is a lunatic. And God forbid, the house is in turmoil as it gets ready for Christmas, as most places are. But he doesn't handle turmoil well. Our dogs don't care. Lawson lays on the couch and just watches. Gidget goes and lays down where she is. Yeah, I thought so too, Marta, but the winds weren't so strong to blow away an extension cord. My wife said, oh, down the other way, there's this people who have had this inflatable Santa Claus. And it was gone. And I said, well, maybe the inflatable Santa I could see blowing away. Because when we used to be in the inflatables game, they would blow. They could get, depending on if you'd used, that's why I moved on to more industrial strength stakes, rather. I went with big, sturdy camping stakes rather than the little thin ones that they give you with the yard decor. So it could be, but I'm still calling it a thing. So yeah, so we're in. So what do you want to know? What's your tree? Are you going real tree?
Here's the story.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
We've always gone real tree. I assumed we might go real tree again this year.
Sure, for the baby.
And she says, well, let's get a small real tree. Like one that we can put on a... No. She want one that we can... No, here's what it was. I want to get a real tree, but I want it to live. So I want it to be in a pot and you can plant it later. That's a thing. Did you know that?
I've seen those, but usually outside of Home Depot or Lowe's, and they seem more decorative, like you're gonna put them on your porch or something.
Right. And we got one and put it on the porch, but like
it sounds lovely.
The point was she was like, yeah, let's do that. And I okay. So I called a bunch of tree farms and I'm like, do you have trees in pots I can plant later? There was one in Harvard. I'm like, I'm like, right. You want to drive an hour? She's like, no. I was like, okay. So
but you have the Subaru. That's what the commercials say they're made for. You and the family to drive hours and hours to get a Christmas tree in a pot.
No. I was like, let's go to Home Depot. Let's see what they got. And they have the like small ones. And I'm like, this is not a Christmas tree. And she's like, well, why not? We can plant it later. I'm like, because it's not a Christmas tree. You got to fill the living room with a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So she conceded and said, all right, well, we can get a fake one as long as it looks as real as possible. I was like, yeah, like, honestly, you want a real one? We can buy this tiny real potted one. We put it on the porch, so we did get it. Yeah. And then I'm like, let's get a fake one. And she's like, it has to look real. I'm like, great. So I ordered one.
Well, yeah. What are you going to get? Like one of those silver ones that look like they're made of pipe cleaners?
Oh, gosh. No. We got one. It looks very real.
Yeah.
When's the last time you got an artificial, like full-size artificial tree in a box?
In
a small box.
The last one we got a few years ago, we got a white one to put all our tropical ornaments on.
Okay. Was it packed tight in a box?
Oh, they're all packed tight in a box. And the trick is putting them back in the box. That's how they last you for years and years.
That's how they last?
That's how all my trees I've always put back in a box.
It took me 2 full hours to fluff it out.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst part.
Do you do that with every tree you have?
Yeah.
Every year?
Every branch, every year. Well, now I'm down to 2 full-size trees and 1 small tree. So it's much easier. But yes, back in the day when I had that 9-foot tree in my family room, and I had to do it branch by branch because it didn't come in sections. It was just a pole, and then you had to put every branch in for 9 feet. And there were, oh God, I would lay them out in the living room. There had to be 20 different sizes of branches. And I would have to fan out every branch, put them in the thing, and build up. Now I do it by section, but I sit and you go around and you got to spread it out. It takes forever to shape a tree.
This is a side of you I did not know about.
You didn't know what a lunatic I am about Christmas?
I know you're a lunatic about Christmas, but until I bought my own artificial tree and spent 3 hours setting it up, I did not understand how big of a pain it is. Yeah. And I am shocked that you do that every year. Like, have you ever in the past, like, kind of folded it, shoved it down in the basement and just kind of stood it through a bag over it or something?
Nope.
Never once.
Never.
I am out of my mind right now.
The giant one, when I bought the giant tree back when we first moved into the house in Frankfurt, it didn't come in a box. The box had been damaged. So, it came in a box, but the box was all broken. So that one, I had a double, like, giant tree bag, but I still had to disassemble it, each branch, and I would squish each branch down so they would lay in the bag. And then every year I would put it, and that's why I was always very surly when it came to, I love it. I love the house when it's all done, but I hated it because of the years in Frankfurt where we had where we had 3 full-size trees, 2 small trees, and it took me days. And then the outside would take me literally 2 days to do. So now, I do our outside takes me 6-7 hours to do the outside. And then few hours to put both trees up, and then we're doing, so it's much better.
No, that's insane. That's actually insane.
Yeah, it is. But
good for you. Kudos. I am going to fold up the legs, the arms, the branches as best I can, shove it through my basement door, stand it up, get a big ass bag, shove it on there, and hope that it doesn't rot or have mice in it. next year, and we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Yeah. We threw away the box. I
Why?
broke down the box because I'm not going to put this tree I spent 2.5 hours setting up into a box and then do it again.
Oh,
I didn't even
God.
consider that as a possibility.
Didn't the instructions say save this box for storage?
I don't know. I read the instructions, but maybe I didn't get that far.
Wow.
I'm not going to store
You're
it.
bold. That's bold.
Why I can't
Well, you leave it up all year.
Oh, that's been suggested. My son loves it.
Oh, sure.
And thank God we didn't get a real tree, because man, he just grabs it and he pulls at it and he pets it and he pulls the light sometimes when he knows he's not supposed to.
Can I give you a tip?
What's that?
This is a tip that my uncle told my dad, and my dad did it every year when we were little. You take picture wire and you put 2 eyelets in the wall, 2 like eye hooks, if your tree is in the corner or wherever, or, even ours was in front of the picture window and he put it up above the molding in the window, and you kind of wire up your tree. Because that way, if God forbid he runs into it, the tree's not coming over. The tree's not going over, and you don't see it. I did it when Molly was little. I did it every year. When we were little, my dad did it every year. It's just that, and it's not thick wire. It's just that really thin. I always use that florist wire that you can get at Michael's. It's green, so you don't even really see it. Mm-hmm. And it just gives you that little like, oh, the tree's not going to fall on my kid. That sense of security that a lot of us like during the holidays when we have our children. It's
a broad-based tree, and it's got a big old tripod stand, and it's under a tree skirt. So
sure,
structurally, I don't see how he could knock it over. I don't think it's possible.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
We will. We'll definitely
find out. I'm sure you'll update us. I pray that you're right.
You know him. I mean, he's aware of his surroundings.
Well, no, he's a curious young man. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a toddler. He's a curious toddler.
He has awareness. I don't think.
Wasn't it lad 2 weeks ago? You told us that you turned your head for a minute, and he was like, he was climbing a ladder. He was on the roof. What was he doing? He was pretending he was a chimney sweep.
He's speed raised.
Right. He was up the stairs or down the gate or somewhere.
I didn't even know what happened. I put him down. She put him down, or something. He may try to climb it. He's
not a cat.
He's not that's not. I guess
it took the worry away from us.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, we don't do it now because I'm not worried about the dogs running into it. They don't care.
Or what if I come over?
Or if you come over, I'll just, we'll just keep you away from the tree. We'll set you out on the deck with all the lights and the plastic Snoopy out there. You can go sit out on the deck. Or you can sit out front with all the snowmen. Or you can lay in front of the nativity scene and pretend you're baby Jesus.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Just like in Diner. You could just go like Kevin Bacon and just lay in the manger.
I played Jesus in Marijuana Rama, the sketch comedy show about.
Is that right?
Weed. Yeah, I played him like 4 different times.
Then you're all set.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still shocked by this. So you threw out the box that you're not going to.
No.
Putting the tree back in is pretty easy. Putting it back in the box is all right. Get yourself some packing tape and you just. But every year you take it out, you have to put it together.
No, I hate that.
I have to go do my mom's. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going Sunday to do my mom's tree.
Well, we've got our shed at the front door. So we could shove it through the front door, move it 10 feet, throw it in the shed, put a tight bag over the top of it.
They do make bags that you can just keep your tree, go to American Sale or whatever, invest $60, $70.
I'm going to do that.
That'll keep your tree going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to leave the lights on it too, Lazy Joe, or is it pre-lit?
Yeah, it's not pre-lit. I'm fine removing the lights. I would remove the lights, but she's the other half is thinking differently. Here's the thing: we have radically different ideas about how lit a Christmas tree should be.
Oh boy!
So we have it it's real big around, right? And I bought I had 2 strings of 100 lights at Menards or whatever.
Doesn't sound like nearly enough.
Not nearly enough. And I'm like, maybe we should grab a third because it's supposed to cover like, I don't know, like 12 feet, 20 feet, something like that. I don't remember the math. But anyway, I was like, all right, maybe we should grab a third one. She's like, no, you always like too many lights on the tree. I'm like, I think this will be good. Right. My reaction exactly. So
how do you have too many lights on a tree?
Exactly. So I'm like, well, let's get it just in case. Knowing in my infinite Christmas tree wisdom and math that it wouldn't be enough. So we get home and I put up 3 things around it and it's kind of well populated. And then it's done a foot from the top. She's like, oh, well, that's fine. I'm like, no, it's not.
Wait, you had no lights for the last foot of your tree?
So no.
Oh, you don't start at the top and work your way down?
I've never considered that in my life.
I start at the top.
Why?
Because it's narrower, and also I'm working my way down to where the cords, as I get lower, the cords aren't stretching all the way into the tree.
What do you mean into the tree?
Like, I don't know. I just always did it. I always just start from the top because the top, it's easy to get really bright because it's not as thick and as wide. So I get it bright, and then you space out. Plus, I always ran. Well, we have a pre-lit tree in the living room. I still add lights to it.
Yes.
Had to.
That's the way
so I like a bright tree. When I had that, and I keep going back to this 9-foot tree because I would put 600 to 700 little clear lights just down the center of the tree, and then put the novelty lights all around. So that tree had over 1,000 lights on it.
That's amazing.
It was insanity.
Oh my gosh.
Now, like the tropical tree, we don't put any extra lights on because it's white and it has multicolor lights and it's very bright. So I'm like, okay, that one's fine. But yeah, I'm all about the lights. You got to have lights. I get nuts if I see not somebody else's tree because everybody can do what they want. My tree, if I see a dark spot, I fixate on it and it ruins the holidays.
Yes, same. All right. How do you turn on and off your tree?
With a power strip.
You turn on, you don't have the step clicker?
No.
Oh, we have
basically the same concept.
It is.
I use my toe with the power strip.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, I got the whole step click. My mom had a step clicker and she gave us a step clicker. I love
those. Are fun. Those are fun.
Super fun. So all right, step clicker, power strip. Do you take? Because it plugs in and then the first light is like a foot away, right? So do you run that up the middle of the tree, or do you just kind of run it up the outside and then start to twirl?
No, what I do is I use extension cords.
Wow.
So I have a bunch of green extension cords.
You're advanced.
Yeah. And I run the extension cord up the center of the tree. That's when I start at the top because then I don't have to worry about that. I run the extension cord. At one point, I had a tree that had 2 full power strips. That's how many lights and how many cords I had running. I had about 12 cords coming out of this tree.
Wow.
But I take the extension cord, I run it up the middle of the tree to the top where, and then that's when I start the first string of lights all the way at the top, plug in, and you go, and then you can use the extension cord, and I get, put a few strings per extension cord and just keep dropping cords down the middle, and they come out at the bottom. I tie them with some wires so there's just one like thick bundle of cords, and then they tuck into the skirt.
Nice.
Here's why I'm so crazy anal about the Christmas tree. Because every year growing up, we always had a real tree. I was the first person in the family or in my immediate family to have an artificial tree. We always had a real tree growing up.
Wow.
And it was always a nightmare. Because like some years we'd all go looking for it. Some years it was just my dad and mom, or some years it was my dad and uncle and they'd both get their trees. So the tree would come home and it'd sit in the garage for a few days in a bucket of water so that it would start to fall, so that the branches would drop and you'd get the fullness of the tree. And then came putting it in the stand. And I'm old enough where we didn't have nice stands. You had the old rickety tin ones with just a little shallow dish for the water at the bottom. And you had to get down on the floor with a big wrench to screw these giant bolts in. And it would be my mom standing in the dining room, looking at the picture window, my dad holding the tree, and the amount of time spent trying to make sure the tree was straight was horrible. Then it got to the point where I was tall enough where I would hold the tree. My dad was on the ground, tried to turn these giant bolts to drill into the trunk. My mom is in the dining room. Then she'd move from the dining room over to the hallway from the front door. So it had to be straight in the middle. Then it couldn't be leaning back or forth.
Right.
It was a nightmare. So an artificial tree, you plop right in and it's straight as hell. And you never have to worry about it.
Well, you got to get the top pine to go straight up.
Well, that's true.
And in places like my apartment, my son has started playing with a ball, and he throws the ball, and he has taught me that no part of my floor anywhere is flat, even remotely. Just this tiny, like a dodgeball kind of, but like a little smaller, child size, more like the size of a softball, but bouncy, you know, like a kickball or
yeah.
And honest to God, I want a drug that could make me love life as much as him. Because
you had it 30 some years ago. It's called youth.
He picks up a ball, he throws it, and he laughs maniacally, and then runs after it, and then picks it up, and then throws it and laughs maniacally. How do I get that life? I want that life. That is the life.
You had it, and you grew out of it.
I want it back. We got to bring it back, Brian. Let's have that be our 2022 resolution. We bring back the ability to
we just act like toddlers.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Poop our pants and have tantrums.
I'm fine with that.
I'm good. I'm good with both.
He doesn't have a lot of tantrums.
Debbie would powder my butt. I don't think you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you spit your beer out.
No, it's fine. I thought I was gonna die, but I'm fine.
You're all right. You're okay.
Can
we get back to why your wife wants a dark tree? What kind of Krampus anti-Christmas move is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Can I give you a life hack for?
Please.
All right, our mantle has some greens on it that my mom graciously set up and fluffed for us and got it all ready last year.
That sounds nice.
Do you put greens on the mantle and put lights in them?
No, but I used to do it around some of the archways. And I was watching. We were watching something the other night, and they had beautiful greens on their mantle, and I thought, I gotta bring that back. I gotta get some greens on the mantle. But we have all these, different ornament kind of things on the mantle.
Oh, sure. All right. Well,
but I love the greenery.
If you ever do the greenery on the mantle, which we're doing, and you put lights in it, my mom she buys these packs of styrofoam balls.
Okay.
And you just take, the Christmas light's pointy, right? And you just take the styrofoam ball and you just pop it right on there.
Yeah.
And the whole thing illuminates because it's like,
the styrofoam illuminates.
It's the styrofoam illuminates. And so if you get 3 different sized balls that let's say like marble size up to golf ball size, there's like 3 different sizes.
Right.
And you pop these various sizes on all the lights on the mantelpiece. It looks super cool.
Whoa, I like that. Now, are you using multicolored lights or white lights?
So multicolor for sure. Definitely.
And are you forced to pull every 4th bulb so it's not too bright for your lovely wife?
No, actually, the string that we're using for that is, so when we used a real tree, I insisted on LED Christmas lights because I didn't want it to burn down.
Okay.
And I was paranoid that real lights on a real tree would burst into flames. So I'm like, let's do the LEDs. The LEDs don't look as good. They're not as bright. They're not nearly on the same level. Generally, at least the kind that we got as regular Christmas lights. They're brighter. They're just more vibrant. So this year, now that we have a fake tree, I'm like, we can buy real lights. So there are real lights on the tree, which means that we have like 3 gigantic strings of like 500 LED lights that are now in various parts of our apartment. One is on the mantle.
You realize you don't live in an apartment. You've said that twice about your apartment. You
What did I
don't live
say?
in an apartment.
Who?
You've said twice that you live in an apartment.
I live in a house.
Yes.
So now there's various LED lights around the house. But when we lived in an apartment, that's when we had a real tree.
Right.
To be fair.
Okay.
You're right.
I just didn't want you to keep saying you lived in an apartment.
I don't live in an apartment.
After you had that weird flex that you had this giant yard with 387 leaf bags.
I do. And it's so weird that I have that big of a yard and my entire house is just this red curtain behind me.
Yeah, you live in a studio.
Yeah.
And it's just a studio apartment dropped onto a giant lot.
Very weird.
It's like the smallest trailer on the most giant farmland.
It's very strange.
It's weird. It's very weird indeed. But I like this idea though. The styrofoam balls with the lights. That's a good holiday tip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to figure that out.
And that brings me to one other outdoor decoration question I have for you.
Yes.
I have a tall house.
Yes, you do.
I did not want to go full Griswold, buy a 30-foot extension ladder and put lights on the top row. Not that I'm opposed to it. I'm willing to do it, but it seems a bit much.
Okay.
But I have a 2-story house and it's large and it's a slight downhill on my block. So it would look weird if I only decorate like first floor down, right?
Well, it depends.
I think it would.
Okay, yeah.
I think it would. So here's my solution.
Yeah.
Spotlights.
I like the spotlights.
Okay, so all right, and I thought my wife didn't like the moving ones with snowflakes and Christmas trees and like the laser ones.
Yeah, the projected one. I have always liked that.
See, me too. I thought she didn't like it, so I was like, all right, I'll just order a plain red and a plain green and we'll put them up. And then I made a comment about it after I ordered it, and she's like, oh no, I like the moving ones. I don't like the solid color ones.
You know what we're finding out? You and your wife don't talk much.
We are apparently our ideas of Christmas are disparate.
Yeah, very disparate. You guys don't talk about the holidays much.
Nah.
About what's your Christmas love language, Cody? That's what we need to find out.
I don't even know what I want.
As like a gift?
As a gift.
Nothing. What are they going to give you?
That's what you want.
That's true. No, this year, listen, this year I actually gave them suggestions. Link the website and everything. I'll see if it happens. It was like I got a thing from the SIU alumni group that they were doing one of those, where they do apparel kind of thing. And there was a vintage sweatshirt of this place that I went almost every Saturday for 4 years in college. And then this other SIU thing. And I said, hey, these would be great for Christmas. Here are the links. Here is the size.
Nice.
I couldn't have made it easier. Now, that to me, I'm already envisioning myself dancing around on Christmas morning wearing one of them. So I'm hoping, and I think because I did it a long time ago, I gave Debbie this idea in mid-November. So I know because how often do I actually have a gift suggestion for myself? I'm sure, and she probably can hear me downstairs. And if she didn't get it, she's still got time. I'm sure she and Molly, that will be under the tree. So that's fine. But yeah, I don't, what are you going to tell? Is she asking? Is your lovely wife asking you what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a funny thing.
Are you going to just tell her you want a piece of quiet? It doesn't work.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Don't ask for a piece of quiet.
I told her I want to be able to log into Endwalker.
What is that?
Final Fantasy expansion.
Oh,
the new Final Fantasy 14. But the only way for me to do that is to log on before, like basically during work hours.
Okay.
Which I might start doing. I think starting tomorrow, I'm just going to like work till noon, play Final Fantasy for 3 hours, and then work from like 3 to like 8 p.m. Because I work from home. What the hell? What does it matter? Yeah. And then I get my game time, my work time. All I'm missing is family, and I don't know if they'll miss me that much.
You got a lot of time with them. You know, you got a lot of time. It'll be fine. Don't they? They have stuff to do. Doesn't a baby nap?
Not long enough.
All right. Well, You can keep him entertained. Yeah, I hear he likes rolling balls around the house.
He loves rolling balls.
Yeah, so get him a couple balls.
Oh,
there you go. Mike says the only good Final Fantasy was the movie.
That was the ultimate troll. I applaud you for how trollish. That was about the most trollish thing you can say about Final Fantasy. Man, I just need to.
Is there a new gaming console that you would want for Christmas?
You know what?
I video game. Do you have all of those?
Here's the deal.
Yeah,
Brian, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oh no.
Because I want a VR setup.
Oh, like an Oculus or something?
Yeah.
To use for sex?
To use for sex.
For virtual sex? Sure, I get it.
For virtual sex.
Okay.
Here's the problem with that.
Yeah, what's the problem with that?
If I want a Valve Index, a high-end thing, and I want a good computer for it, $1,000.
Wow.
It's too much. Too much. I don't need $1,000 VR setup. I don't even know if I'll use it that much. I can't.
I was going to say, don't you live in a regular R setup?
No.
You don't live in reality?
No. Well, I just want it for like 2 games. And they're not even really about the immersion and stuff. It's more like just games. It's like there's a game called Beat Saber. You know Dance Dance Revolution?
I do. How would I not?
You know there's pads with buttons and you jump on the pads?
Yes.
Beat Saber is like that, only instead of pads on the floor, blocks fly at you at a virtual reality environment, and you hit them with lightsabers.
A sword, yeah.
With swords. Saber. But occasionally things fly at you and you have to dodge left or right or duck under them. So it's kind of a full body thing. And it's kind of like cardio, right?
Sure, yeah, that's how I'd frame it. Kind of like cardio. It's like buying a Peloton for yourself.
Right. It's active,
sure.
And it's not like I'm sitting there like looking around like I'm in another world. I'm not in reality. I just want to see things and have the motion control, right?
Sure. And you want some buxom Norwegian girl to play with you, but not in real life.
Right. I like Thai or Korean, but whatever.
Sure, okay, whatever. I just throwing out some nationalities.
I'm trying to diversify.
There's no hate here.
No, of course, no. We're equal opportunity virtual reality.
Sure, I take it. Any kind of virtual reality woman would be fine.
Let that be the name of today's episode. Any type of virtual reality woman would be fine.
All right, I'm gonna write that down.
No, we're doing more Christmas stuff than
I know.
Cody is the new lawnmower man. I never saw that movie, but I remember the posters when I was little.
It was horrible.
Was it? What was it about?
I just remembered Jeff Fahey was the lead, and there was some sort of virtual reality in there.
More like Jeff Fahey. Got him.
Yeah, you burned him.
Got him.
You roasted him.
I'm gonna bust open the straight jacket, barley wine, ale aged,
barrel aged. I love barrel aged beer.
Crisp and refreshing.
You're going with the heavy duties,
like a Twizzlers. What are we talking about? Oh,
your games.
Anyway, so yeah, other than Beat Saber and raucous hardcore sex, there's nothing else that I would use it for. So I think it doesn't matter. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a Valve Index. I'm not going to spend $600 on an HTC Vive. There's all these things.
What?
The cheapest and really high quality standalone headset doesn't need to connect to your PC. It's totally standalone. It all runs in the headset, comes with the hand controllers and everything. $250.
That sounds much more doable to see if you really like it.
Totally reasonable. It's about the price of a Nintendo Switch or a console.
Sure. Not exorbitant.
But it is the Oculus Quest 2. An Oculus Rift, the Oculus company, was bought by Facebook.
Oh.
So the Oculus Quest 2 requires you to have an active Facebook account. And in order to play any VR game on it, you must be logged into Facebook.
Oh, you don't want that.
This is my conundrum, Brian.
Well, you don't use Facebook very much.
No, I don't.
We're on Facebook right now. But yeah, oh boy, it's that meta. Meta is just going to own everything and every piece of information that you ever have. And now they're going to be strapping themselves to your head so they know what you think. They know what you're playing virtually. They always know what you're doing in real life. Now they're going to know what you're doing in virtual life.
So I'm not being like a weird conspiracy theory kind of like whatever for literally being like the cheapest, most affordable, most reasonably priced VR headset. I don't know if I'm comfortable owning because it's run by Meta.
Right. And the fact that they've now, when you say most cost efficient, blah, 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 or cost, that means more people can wear it. And now Meta gets more people, more data, more eyes on their prize. Wow. See, that's why I just, you know what? If I want to go virtual reality, I down a couple of these bad boys, then I'm in a whole other world. I don't need to strap on some goggles, start slapping around.
Did you see in the chat who else is playing Beat Saber?
Yes, our good friend Jeff Carlin, his brother Adam, is messaging us. Jeff got it for his niece and nephew, which would be Adam's children, and they're finally getting some exercise.
That's cool.
It is cool.
It's really good music. It's really fun.
Okay, so can you play you have to those are your two options, either the one where Meta controls everything about you or the $1,000. There's no other options.
No, I mean, like,
to play this game.
There's ones in the $500 to $600 range. And Marta saying it's the cheapest product because I would be the product, kind of. And it's like, I hate Facebook so much.
But aren't they tracking you on all your game systems? Don't those give your data at some point? Or no?
All my device, every phone I have, I didn't even have a Facebook app on my personal cell phone, and I'm still being tracked on there. They track everything, and I'm not the kind of person that's like, well, they're tracking me everywhere else anyway. Might as well get this. Like, that's not my approach. But to some degree, if it saves me $300 and their algorithms tap into the fact that I play Beat Saber a lot,
going to start getting ads for K-pop music and swords. All your targeted ads will be weird.
Which I already get.
I know. That's what I don't understand. Well, then what are you afraid of? If you're already shopping for K-pop music and samurai swords.
I don't know what to do, and I don't know whether to ask for it because it's a pricey gift. It's like $250.
Right, $250. And if you're not going to use it because you're afraid the man is watching you,
I did look. And there is not eye tracking. They are not tracking my eye movements. I think so. You laugh.
I am laughing.
But
I'm laughing.
Brian, we did a story on Curiosity Daily that eye tracking software, my award-winning podcast, Curiosity Daily. Go to curiositydaily.com. Follow us in your favorite podcast app. We did a story on Curiosity Daily about eye tracking software, and some of the more advanced eye tracking software can determine things like your age, your gender, your sexual orientation.
From your eyes?
From your eyes. It's insane.
What is it? Please don't take this the wrong way. Is it what you're looking at? So like if I'm looking at, a naked woman, then they say, oh, well, he likes women. If I'm looking at a man, they would say, well, perhaps he likes men.
I'm literally going to Google it right now. Or I'm not going to Google it. I'm going to look at my script. We did this in June 2020. Eye tracking software can tell you more about you than you might think. I'm literally looking at the script right now. It's fine. It can tell you a ridiculous amount of information. Okay. Scholars in Germany recently reviewed a bunch of research about the privacy implications of eye tracking technology.
Okay.
Their startling conclusion is, quote, eye tracking data may implicitly contain information about a user's biometric identity. I don't know what that means. Gender, age, ethnicity, body weight, personal traits, drug consumption habits, emotional state, skills and abilities, fears, interests, and sexual preferences, end quote. They are also concerned that eye tracking technologies can monitor what a person's thinking and even diagnose physical or mental health conditions.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
terrifying.
It is terrifying. I don't quite buy it.
Well, how often do you do something that has eye tracking software? You probably don't use a lot of.
I don't think I use any that has eye tracking software.
Same.
Do I?
Same. So Oculus Quest 2 does not contain a camera in the headset to track your eyes, which means that they're not getting that data. If it did, it would be a non-starter, or I would disable or remove or block the camera. But that's not an issue. So they will know what I'm playing and when, but like that's all they're getting from me. I don't post on there. I don't like things. I don't interact. I don't log on. I don't know.
Wow. I don't know if you want to do the 250 instead of the grand. You got to give up some What's more important to you, your privacy or your gaming?
Mike says it's only reading your brain waves. That could be right.
Well, then you'll be fine.
That's a lot of money, and I don't have that money right now. So
no,
it's like, and again, like you said, like I said, I don't know that I'll stick with it. Right? It could be like a fad thing where I get the game and I play it twice, and then I'm like, yeah, kind of like I don't feel like it. I don't know if I want to do that. Like I don't want to be that guy.
Well, and how much time do you have to play the games you already have?
I don't have time to do anything right now.
Right? Are you anticipating a lot of game time? You're gonna become a pro gamer?
Well, in January,
you start training like Rocky.
Just be a gamer. Well,
all right. Well,
yeah.
Adam says if your wife has a Facebook account, use that.
She deleted her Facebook account.
Oh, see, deleted her Facebook. Doesn't want lights on the tree. I don't know.
I do have a fake Facebook account that I made years ago because I wanted a second Tinder profile.
Ooh,
yeah, I'm weird.
Do that.
Do you hear like do you hear like a buzzing when I talk? Is there like a weird buzzing in the background? I'm hearing some weird.
I don't hear it.
All right.
I don't hear any buzzing.
Okay.
So I think you're fine.
All right.
Wow. So that we've gone from what do you want for Christmas into some weird privacy industrial complex conversation, which I enjoy.
I'm glad you enjoy it. You know, I've gone off on these and
you always, I guess I use it enough. I use social media and stuff. But I don't know. I do. The targeted ads always bother me, or if you say something and then it pops up, I'm like, I know everything is listening. Right. I know we're all part of the matrix. I get it. I know what's happening. And I make my weird stand about Siri and Alexa, and I don't let them in the house, but everything else is listening because I'll say something and then it pops up on Facebook. Hey, you want to buy this? No. What? No. So I don't know. Everything's Bluetooth enabled. Everything's connected. I'm connected. I'm plugged in. Who knows? I could be a cyborg. I've never pulled my skin off my face to reveal if I'm actually a robot underneath. I don't know. If I am, I'm the world's worst robot. And I should take because they didn't do a good job with the infrastructure. My metal frame is not holding up. So I need to go back in. There's got to be a warranty situation on this one.
Are you the modern man?
Am I the modern man?
Yeah.
I am the modern man. Secret. I've got a secret. What am I, Mr. Roboto from Styx?
Do you have parts made in Japan?
My parts made in Japan. Secret. I've got a secret.
Do you Kilroy?
I'm Kilroy.
Are you Kilroy?
I'm Kilroy.
Are you Kilroy?
Wouldn't
that be funny if Brian was Kilroy? Just ripped off your face right now and you were Kilroy.
I was always here. So you'd never know. Yes, I'm Kilroy. Oh, look at this. Tom says your smell sensors are malfunctioning. That is true, Tom. My smell sensors have been. Oh no. Yes. My smell sensors, my knee sensors, my knee joints, everything. Horrible. No, if I was a robot, I would have gone on a killing spree a long time ago. I would have gone against my prime directive to do no harm to humans. That would have been the first thing. And it would have been like iRobot.
Have you read iRobot?
No, I just saw the movie.
Oh God.
Reading is not for me. Reading's for chumps. That's not true. That's not true. I like to read. No, I never read iRobot. Don't shake your head at me with with some sort of pathetic look.
No, I read like 2 books a year. It's not a lot.
I was going to say.
I, Robot is one of the best sci-fi novels I've ever read. It holds up. It was written in the 60s and still tells us things about robots that I get to the end of a chapter and I'm like, oh my God, I never would have thought of this. It is paradigm shifting and you could read it in a few hours. It's not a long book.
Really?
So strongly recommend iRobot. Even if you don't think you like science fiction or you don't like robots, super
Who does
accessible.
like robots?
Everybody likes robots.
No, not sane people.
No.
Not sane people who can see, the damage that these robots can do.
Yeah.
I'd say robots. I don't know why, but I do.
Me neither.
No, I'd like a robot butler, like the Jetsons. I'd like a maid who was a robot.
See, and I want a robot butt, which is why I want a VR headset. So,
wow, you can just go get one of those latex ones at, some adult bookstore. Those are 2 outdated terms that I just threw out in one sentence. A latex butt in an adult bookstore. Merry Christmas. Where does that happen? Where do you still? There used to be when I would work Madison, Wisconsin, right on the main street, right on Broadway, the big main street leading to campus, there was an adult bookstore. And for years, I would work. The club was right across the street. I'd work there, and I never went in. Then one time, I went in. Oh my God! It's everything you would think about an adult bookstore.
Wow,
horrifying.
You know what I want to know is when I lived in Lincoln Park, I was a couple blocks south of a Lover's Lane.
Oh, sure.
It was next door to a Sarpino's Pizzeria. Well,
okay.
Out here on North Avenue near me by Lombard Villa Park, somewhere in that area, there's a Lover's Lane pretty close to us.
Yeah.
Next door to it, Sarpino's Pizzeria.
Really?
What's going on with Sarpino's and Lover's Lane, huh?
This sounds like something we got to get Chuck Gowdy involved in. Do an investigative report. Find out what's the deal. Pizza and sex, are they intertwined? Does your G-string come with jardinera? Do you want a vibrator or a grinder made of meatballs?
Can I real quick before we move on?
Please.
Robots, because Marta said you guys heard there are robots that are self-replicating now, and then Tom said Colbert scared me with that last night. I need to do more research.
What?
I have a great suggestion for where you can do your research, and
that's the Curiosity Daily podcast.
That's on the award-winning Curiosity Daily podcast. This Thursday and Friday, we interviewed a robotics researcher named Ruth Aylett. She's somewhere in the UK, and she just co-authored a book called Living with Robots. And it's about what robots are like and where robots are headed and what robots can do. And
what robots are like.
Yeah. And in our conversation with Ruth and in a conversation we had with an AI researcher a few months ago, a very esteemed AI researcher with like 30 years of research, a computer researcher, both of them have explained that robots are very, very good at doing very, very specific things.
Okay.
But generalized robots are decades, if not more, away.
Okay.
Because they can't be programmed to be able to generalize. And they gave the example of algorithms that will say detect like a lion or something. So you give it a bunch of pictures of a lion and you give these parameters and I can recognize a lion or not a lion. And then if you change or you tweak like one thing, it might mix up a lion for a giraffe.
Oh my God, then it's killing all the giraffes?
Well, lions and giraffes do not look alike. Like to the human eye. No, we are smart enough to realize that like those are not remotely close, but an AI can get tripped up really easily. And this is an issue with sensors when it comes to pedestrians crossing sidewalks and things like that, and detecting pedestrians and detecting other vehicles. And so even when you have a robot do or an AI do a very, 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 very specific one thing, it can still get tripped up quite easily. So the best AI that we have and the best robots that we have are like hyper specialized into doing like one very specific task, but they are not good generalists. So
Actually, earlier you mentioned robot butlers, and they specifically say robot butler never going to happen in our lifetime. Not a chance. Just not possible.
Maybe I just pull the plug then. I've had enough.
So
this could be the worst news you've ever given me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ruin your robot butler aspirations.
The one thing I've been saying my whole life, I've been waiting for that one day where somebody could go, "What would you like?" And I finally have an answer: robot butler.
No, you might get a tray that can move to and from the fridge and remove one thing from the fridge, and hopefully it's the right thing.
Could I get a beer butler?
You can maybe get a very specialized beer butler.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Or, I still like going back to the virtual reality girls.
Oh, sure.
Can we do that?
At the bookstore.
Is that, well, no, it doesn't have to. I don't want to take her to a bookstore. I want to keep her right here in the house. Not a lunatic.
Wait, hold on. I
got to take her out to the bookstore.
Wait. Hold on. Right here. Hold on.
I don't even know where I'd find an adult bookstore. I actually saw there's one. There's one.
I got the book right here.
What? Living with Robots.
Anxious human needs to know. Ruth Aylett and Patricia Vargas. Patricia was not available for our interview, but it's
had the robots gotten to her?
At last, after all the hype and drama about robots taking over, comes a book that shows us how robots will really feature in our lives. So check that out on Curiosity Daily Friday and Thursday and Friday.
Very nice.
Yeah, good
time. Boy, what a fortuitous tie-in.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Good for you.
Oh my God. What are these called? The
liner notes or acknowledgements? No, not acknowledgements. Testimonials.
You wrote one for Roger's book, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. Testimonial, maybe.
Testimonial or whatever. Michael Wooldridge, professor of computer science at the University of Oxford. He's the computer scientist we interviewed like 4 months ago. He wrote a testimonial for that. I didn't even realize that. That's really funny.
Very nice. Yeah, catch that Thursday and Friday, and don't panic about our new robot overlords. They'll be fine. Skynet has not become self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we should take away from this? A blurb. That's
blurb.
It, Mike. Thank you, blurb.
Thank you, Mike.
Blurb. Mike comes through.
Hey, we blurbed at each other this weekend, didn't we?
We did. I know you want to get to this. We, our good friend Dave Plyer, who you can hear on a radio station that you used to hear us on, has every year well, not every year because last year was COVID-y, but he has this big Christmas soiree, and it's people, broadcast people and his business people and neighbors, and it's a huge to-do. And for years I got invited and didn't go because not that I didn't like Dave, I didn't like being in public. I didn't like social events. Yeah,
you didn't like people.
I didn't like to socialize. But then a few years ago, I thought to myself, well, he's going to stop inviting me if I never come to this party. And so I went and I was like, this is a fantastic party. I'm going to come every year that I'm invited. So then you got on the list a couple years ago. You made the cut. And so his party was Saturday. I have to ask you this before we get into the party. Were you at all nervous? Or did you question yourself afterwards that we went to a party with people in a house that we didn't know? We knew the house. We didn't know all the people.
Not remotely.
Really? I didn't think about it while I was there. I had a mask in my pocket. I kept telling myself, well, I've got 2 vaccines and a booster in me. And really, because on the way home, Debbie and I were talking about this. Really, we talked to people that we knew. We didn't talk to a lot of strangers. And everybody there seemed to be of the vaccinated mindset. You know, there didn't seem to be a lot of anti-vax, anti-science folks running around the Plyer estate. But yeah, it's beautiful. Always. I mean, it's catered, and it's wonderfully catered with the same stuff every year. So there's a consistency to the food. It's always great. I'm a big fan of the filet and whatever kind of cheese meatballs that are always there.
The meatballs.
The meatballs are phenomenal. The bacon-wrapped water chestnuts, the pierogies. Then there's a whole table of all kinds of other things. There's big shrimp. There's a lot of great food. A lot of great foodstuffs laying around. Then, This year I didn't wander into the movie room. Dave has a theater downstairs, and usually has a bunch of movie candy in there. I didn't wander in there to see if there was movie candy, because normally I'll take a box of Goobers and squirrel it away so I can scurry out. Marta, I don't go to parties. She's like, do you usually know everybody at a party you go to? I don't go to parties. I go to one party a year, this one, and I know almost nobody. I know a few people at this party, and they're people that I want to talk to. Yes, Cody, please.
Related question. If I had a holiday party in January,
yeah,
would you come?
Of course I would come, because I like you and your wife, and I've met some of your friends. I always am in need of a Ziploc bag full of ice, so I would, of course, come to your party. There would be no doubt about it. Okay. I would come to your
We're
party.
thinking about it, but Omicron
is there, but they're saying Delta is the thing, and Delta's still the thing. And yeah, I don't see. That's why I thought I didn't think about it before we went. And I had a great time at the party. I had a really good time. Even though we'll get to this, you and my wife had some discussions about me, which I found unsettling. Yeah.
What did they? What did they say?
You and my wife.
What did we say?
There was a lot of talk about how I can't accept compliments, and I don't. There were a number of people there who were coming up saying really nice things to me.
Yeah, because they're cool.
Well, I don't know about that, but see, and this is the point. So you say something like that, I always brush it off, and then you and my wife, I walked in, you were having some sort of conversation about my psyche.
Brian, I'll be honest.
I know you were drunk as hell.
The next morning, I was like, I had a really great conversation with Brian and Debbie at the end of the night. I have no recollection of it.
We did. That was very deep.
I have no recollection of it. I have some inklings. But I was
that was the most I've opened up to anybody in years. I'm glad you don't remember it.
I remember some of the opening up. I really do. But it's bits and pieces. So your secrets are safe with my alcohol.
With all the Bourbon County you had.
To be fair, Dave was serving Bourbon County Stout on tap.
Dave always has top of the line bar. It's whatever what do you want? He always has 2 house drinks, an old fashioned and a sleigh ride. I stayed old fashions all night. I was drinking old fashions because I'm old fashioned.
Smart.
And but he has old time bottled pop and Green River and 7-Up in bottle, and just all kinds of stuff.
He's a classy guy.
He is. The party, he spares no expense at the party. And people came gussied up this year because we have not, as a group, as a world, have not been out socializing. So the dress code this year had elevated. You wore a sport coat. You were looking sharp.
Well, you of course out dressed everyone there.
That's not true.
You've got style. Brian cleans up good, everybody. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know. It's a compliment. I don't know if he can take it.
I don't like compliments. You know that.
Apparently, I don't remember saying anything to your wife about your psyche.
You guys were talking about and it came about because people were people saying very nice things that I don't, need to. But anyway, there were points where it was uncomfortable because I was like, here's the thing. I don't want people going, oh, we still wish you were on WGN. Yeah, so do I. To be quite honest, should I still be there? Yeah, you bet your ass I should be. You and I put out some great content, and there were a lot of people there who were saying that, and I appreciate it. I appreciate when they were, I appreciate the compliments, but then it gets weird, like, okay, because some were like really effusive, and it was like, stop, okay, cut it out. That's weird. But we had lovely conversations with Dean Richards, and Bozo was there, not in costume.
Dean's amazing.
Yeah, Dean was a lot of fun to talk to. Jeff and Tracy Hoover. Jeff is a producer on WGN Morning News, and Tracy works in the healthcare field, and they do happy hour with the Hoovers on Facebook. They're, so they were great to talk to, and there were other people there, and you and Casey were there, and we talked to some of Dave's neighbors, Mary and Matt, who were Mary was like the most vivacious teacher in the world. She exuded fun, positive energy.
Yes.
She was like the fun out of your mind teacher that you would have graduated and went, oh, she was probably my favorite teacher. And her husband, Matt, had on the jacket of the night.
He did.
Yeah. That was the jacket of the night. The red and white kind of checkered Christmassy jacket.
Dave keeps good company.
Yeah.
Like everyone there was interesting or cool, or, we saw Karen Conti.
Oh, yeah. We saw Karen Conti.
Who we
and
did
Jerry.
a show with for years, which
talked to Walter Jacobson.
It feels like 100 years ago.
It does.
I can barely even like imagine going into the station and like doing the show with you and then having Karen come in and doing an hour and then hanging out with you after. Like it feels like 20 years ago.
Yeah. And
It's
it was
insane.
only a couple of years.
It wasn't
that
4 years we were doing that.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, we worked there for a long time. And now we didn't.
And Karen was on the show for a long time.
Yeah,
so
Karen was on the show for a long time. Because when we moved to Sunday, I was still doing sports night.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And we started, I forget, it was in January. We started the new Sunday show on a Sunday in January. I forget what year it was. But yeah. So, it was nice to see people. I saw Andy Mazer and his girlfriend. We talked to Andy when we first got there. So that was nice. Dave Schwann was there. All the WGM people that were at the party, they were a lot of. It was great to see them. Great to talk to them. Dave's house is like a little museum in some parts, but it was fun to just hang around and talk and have a couple drinks and some good food. I wish next year I'm going to bring some Ziploc bags because Dave was saying there were a lot of extra meatballs, and I'm like, well, if I had a to-go bag, I'd fill it up, be out of here. I don't know, but
we wanted a to-go bag. Oh man,
how was your Uber home?
I slept the entire time.
That's probably best.
Literally got in the Uber, and I was just like,
How long an Uber ride was that?
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Maybe 25.
No, it took me longer than 20 minutes to get there.
Oh God, I don't remember. I can look on the Uber app.
I live a lot closer to Dave than you do.
That's the wrong app. Hold on.
Sandy wants to know if the new GN bosses were there. There was no upper management at the party.
There was no upper management. And you know what? I appreciate
there was no lower
that.
management either. I appreciate that too.
No one does management at parties. Come on, that doesn't make sense.
No,
I don't want to do that.
I didn't want to party with management.
Trips. Here we go. Check this out.
Yeah, let's see.
12:30 a.m. What was it just says that
you went forever. You were in there forever.
All it says is 12:38. It was a late part. All right, so
it was
2 years ago when you and I went, we closed it out.
Yeah.
It was literally you, me, and there were like 100 some people there. Like it was huge.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, it was you and me and our spouses were the last people standing.
Right.
This year, we had it out at like, did you leave before us?
See, we got separated because we were all sitting in the dining room talking, and then we got up to say goodbye and, and I lost track of you.
Okay.
I think we left we must have left right around the same time.
Okay.
Because I don't know where you went. I think maybe you went downstairs to say goodbye to somebody. But by that time I was ready to go. So I said my goodbyes to everybody who was still there that I needed to say goodbye to when I left.
It looks like
I know we got home around 1:00, which For us, it was very, very late.
We got 1:10, so it was about 40 minutes, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
30 to 40-minute drive. Wow, yeah, that's
a long ride.
Probably close to a half hour. But the point is, when we left at 12:30, 12:45, there were 20 people downstairs.
Yeah, there were still people hanging out.
It was a rager. I mean, it was we didn't close it down.
No, well, that was fun. I was happy not doing that. I was good to go because we got there at 20 after 7, maybe 7:15. 20
we were
after
there
7
early. We got there at 7:30.
And then we stayed, and so yeah, I couldn't believe it. We haven't stayed out that late in forever, and boy, it took me about 17 seconds to fall asleep when I got home. Like, oh, it's 1:00 in the morning. What are we doing? This is crazy.
Oh no, dude, I got that. So here's the thing, like, so to pace yourself at a party, sometimes it's better to stick to beer instead of mixed drinks.
Yeah, but you were drinking 15% beer.
Apparently not so when it comes to Bourbon County Stout. I was very far ahead of everyone when it came to how much was being consumed. And what can I say?
I had the most embarrassing moment, though, because I have giant feet. And Dave's stairs going to his basement are those stairs that have the little overhang, so like the step actually comes out farther. And so my feet, when they get on the stair, my toes go all the way up to the wall. So there's some overhang. And I was walking up the stairs with a drink, and I was not drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And my toe caught. I was following Dave and Tracy Hoover up the stairs, and Dave said something about tripping, and my toe caught on the step, and I tripped, and my drink went all over the wall. And I was like, oh, no. I said, I'm so sorry. Let me get some. No, I'll get John, his son, to clean it up. I'm like, no, let me clean. He goes, no, that's fine. Don't worry. And I said to him later, I go, is my invitation revoked now because I tripped on the stairs? No. I'm thinking, well, if I had fallen, I'd have sued you. So that would have been a killjoy. That would have ruined the party right there. I filed a little lawsuit. There had to be a couple lawyers in that place.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of glamorous looking people floating through, and then us.
Mm-hmm.
So people, your wife caught some attention from some people
with her boots. Yeah,
she
had some pretty rad,
crazy
footwear,
boots.
Huh?
She was teasing her because some guy downstairs tried, some old guy, and when I say old, he was older than me. She came down. I was at the bar, and she came up. She was going to get you guys another BCS. And he was like, "Hey, pretty good, huh?" And she's like, "Huh?" He goes. He holds up his glass. Yeah, you were drinking the same thing. Pretty good, huh? I'm like, oh, dude, stop it. You stop hitting on this woman here at a party where everybody is obviously married. It was not a singles party.
It feels great to have a wife that gets hit on sometimes.
Yeah, very nice.
When she's not interested in anybody else, and sometimes even not even me. It's right. It's a great feeling.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Well, listen, I think we've said enough for tonight. We are working on some things for the holiday show, and maybe some special guests. Well, I am. I'll let you know.
Oh,
if they come to fruition.
All right.
But good luck this weekend being outside. It's supposed to at least warm up a little bit so you can get your outdoor lighting done.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Next week will be fun. I don't know if I'll drink as much as I did tonight.
I think
I'm halfway into my.
When's our eggnog show? That's got to be the 21st, right before Christmas. That's the eggnog show. So that's going to be the big holiday extravaganza.
Next week, I might have a major announcement.
Really?
But I don't know. I don't know yet. I need to confirm that tomorrow.
Wow. Hold on.
So stay tuned for a potentially fun, very exciting next week. If not, then we'll just do a regular show.
Yeah, it'll just be wow. That's a tease.
It is.
So we're gonna leave everybody with that tease, and just say, don't forget to follow Cody on that's right, the Curiosity Daily podcast, curiositydaily.com. I am just doing nonstop trivia events from now until Christmas, basically. Had one today. I've got them every day this week. I've got 7 next week. On Friday the 17th, I'm doing 4 events. starting at 10 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. It's going to be fun.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I don't have to leave I don't have to leave. It's perfect. It's the best way to socialize. I don't have to. I do everything from here. And the weekend in Kenosha, if you made it out to the Kenosha shows, thank you. That was quite an event. But yeah, listen to Cody. And next week, will there be an announcement? This is a cliffhanger. This is like who shot JR.
Mm-hmm.
This is, will Cody have an announcement?
Right.
And if so, what will that announcement be?
Right.
And will his son have tipped over the tree yet? Lots of drama. Mama. Lots of drama. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Tell your friends, like, follow, click, whatever it is you have to do. Spread the word. It's the holiday season. Our gift from you would just be telling some more people to listen. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would.
All right. Anything you want to say, Cody?
No, I'm surprised he didn't have more.
More what?
Stuff. I don't know.
No,
You're a content machine. You're a content.
I know, but we've been jabbering for over an hour and a half.
No, it's fair.
Plus, I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, and if 5 more minutes goes by, I will be blackout drunk and won't remember the rest of the show. So we might as well just.
No, so we'll call it tonight.
No, you're right. No,
you had a great tease. You had a fantastic tease.
Love it. No, hey, this is.
Why are we going to ruin that?
Excellent programming. I'm pleased.
Are you?
Pleased with all of it.
All right. Well, we could keep talking about this for a while. Don't backwash your barley wine.
I would never do that.
That should be your new T-shirt.
Don't backwash my barley line. No, I'm wearing a CM Punk T-shirt. Let's go, dude. CM Punk. CM Punk.
You just want more of his ice cream bars.
I do.
I don't blame you.
So good.
I would like a nice ice cream bar. Did you notice the Christmassy backdrop tonight?
Yeah, I mentioned it at the start of the show. It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
I think this, you got the tree, you got the flannel. Everything was.
We got it all going. Oh yeah, everything's looking good.
Crap behind me. It's the shirt. I'm not really dressed for it, but I'll do it.
No, I made sure I put the stuff up in the office so that it would be ready for tonight. So I did the office. Debbie did part of it, and I finalized it with the fakey snow underneath all the peanut stuff. So I'd have my Zoom background is tight, and then I'll go to see what else we got done today. Try to get the house finished by Friday so I can just sit and enjoy for the rest of the. They had to come in. Now I actually sat in the big chair. Here's an update. I finally got to sit in the new big chair because they came and they had to replace every bit of machinery in this chair. I'm like, why didn't you just give us a new chair?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know. So the guys came. They took all the mechanical stuff out from underneath and put all new machinery all new mechanism in the chair that had only been sat in by Debbie and the dogs.
Okay.
But now, the other night, when was it? It was maybe Sunday night after I had done all the outside, and then I did a bunch of stuff Sunday, and I put the trees up, and I was beat, and I was like, "Can I sit in the big chair?" Debbie was like, "Yes, you can sit in the big chair." Oh, I loved it. We'll see. We'll see if I continue to get to sit in the big chair. I'm the biggest person. I should sit in the biggest chair.
Right.
I'm the man of the house.
I agree.
I am the man of the house.
I agree. You just said that.
I know. I wanted to reiterate it.
I still agree.
I'm glad you do, because I don't know if you know this. I'm the man of the house.
Dude, with the amount of beer I've had tonight, I don't know a whole lot of things.
No, that's it. You got to. Oh, Marta says the background is nice. Thank you, Marta. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you for doing all that. Cody, sober up until next week, then get drunk again. Okay. I like a drunk Cody. It's always he's always fun.
It's sober never fun.
Sober Cody's fun.
Tonight was fine. Tonight is actually the most fun a drunk Cody has been.
Well, because we didn't go on any rants.
I know.
We didn't have any angry rants. By next week, we'll have some angry rants. I knew this week we'd be talking about our home decor for the holidays. So
our denouement.
Until next time. Au revoir, America.
Our armoire.
Get in an armoire.
A Davenport.
That's a sofa.
Yes.
My wife's grandmother used to call it Davenport.
I still do.
I know you do. Because you're an old lady. Bye.